Oh, hello there. How are you? Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Steven. It is a beautiful, beautiful moment in history right now. I'm lying in a very comfortable king-size bed with nice clean sheets, the curtains drawn, and I've just woken up from a 5-hour nap. It's a beautiful thing. I did not intend on sleeping this long, once again, because I always oversleep and I intend to sleep for 2 or 3 hours. Yeah, 5 hours later I wake up. But hey, how are you? I am on a long layover in Newark. This is a fairly new hotel for us, and it's very exciting. The breakfast, I will miss the old hotel. The breakfast there was amazing. Sometimes you'd have like asparagus. I mean, it was just great pastries, real fresh eggs. It was just amazing. The breakfast was the best. But there's a give and a take. This hotel, the breakfast, not spectacular. Very classic hotel breakfast. But when we got to the airport, the shuttle was waiting for us, and we didn't have to walk down to the very end of the terminal. We used to have to, like, a trek to get to the spot where the hotel pickup was. Here, we just walk out of our gates, and poof, there's the van. It's very good. The staff was exceptional when we got here this morning. And, the room's very comfortable. There's a microwave. Yes, there's a microwave in the room, which is something we didn't have at our old hotel. So, and apparently it's easier to get into the city from here than it was the old hotel. So, win. Pass on the breakfast. That's okay. So, we arrived here this morning super early. Got to the hotel super early. I did stay awake for breakfast, something I'll not do in the future unless I'm dying. And took a nap intending on waking up at maybe, 3 hours. But I needed to sleep, apparently, because I turned off all of my alarms. And I'm just waking up now feeling pretty refreshed. I'm thinking of going into the city, but it's chilly. It's only 61 degrees out there. And for me, that's chilly right now. Since I don't have any real layering pieces, it's chilly. And it's like middle of the afternoon, so I'm not quite sure. The Met, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the Met, is open until 9 o'clock on Fridays and Saturdays, which is awesome. But again, I'm so comfortable in bed right now. I don't want to get up, but I have the time. Our show time, our van time tomorrow is 11:43. In the morning. So I might go into the city. I'm going to put some clothes on. I'm going to step outside. Worst case scenario, there's a Dunkin' Donuts out in front. I can get some coffee and gauge whether or not the weather is comfortable enough to walk around. So let's get some clothes on. Yes, let's get some clothes on. It is a phenomenal day out here. It is gorgeous. It's cool, but not chilly. The weather app made it seem like it was going to be freezing. So I had to walk down the road a little bit, cross over this bridge, and apparently the PATH train is straight ahead to the left. So it should be easy enough to get into the city. Got a little Celsius to get me in there. And I'm happy I left the room. All right, I finally got to Newark Penn Station. The walk was a little bit longer than I anticipated, but it's a beautiful day. I need the walk. And here we are. So I got the ticket, $6 round trip. There is the train track. I got these purely by intuition. Nothing seemed to be really obvious, but my flight attendant instincts took off, and here we are. All right, so I got a train in about 4 minutes. On the way. Remind me to tell you about my opinions on etiquette on public transport with large bags. Remember to say that later. All right, so the perennial question I have for you is, why aren't there twice as many ladies' restrooms as there are men's rooms? There's an enormous line for ladies to use the restroom, the facilities. Men, we walk in there, we walk out. It was like a conveyor belt. There was actually a line. But I was in and out in like 15 seconds. Ladies, you gotta wait. What happens if it's a surprise, So I think it's unfair that ladies have to wait so long just to pee. Am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong. All right, so something else while I'm on my soapbox. If you are on a very busy train. You're on a packed train. It is packed. And you've got a giant tote bag in the seat next to you. And an old man walks by and says, "Excuse me, is the seat taken?" Just move your bag. Just move your bag. Let's try not to make it a passive-aggressive game of Survivor so you have space for your ugly tote bag. Just move your bag. And secondly, while I'm also on the soapbox, take off your backpack. Guys, I've not talked about this before. When you're getting on a busy train, a busy subway, or an aircraft, take off your backpack. When you have that giant backpack on your back, you just think it's a bag in your mind. But what you're doing is you're taking up twice the amount of space as you do this in public. It's just not polite. So, I'm getting off my soapbox. I am very hungry. Can you tell? All right, let's find some food, just a snack, and then we'll see what happens today. It's a Knicks game, so I'm going to get out of this neighborhood because it's way too crowded for me, even for New York. Here is Port Authority, a place where I've cried many, many a tear. Sometimes out of frustration, because I used to take a bus here pretty much every weekend from Boston up here to New York. I used to date a guy who lived here, and it was just very difficult. The ride, you know, Connecticut always seemed to be under construction, the entire state, and it just seemed to be forever to just drive through Connecticut from Boston. But I'd finally get here and spend a day or two with my boyfriend, and then I'd have to make the trek all the way back on the bus. It was exhausting, and we cried and cried and cried when we met and when we separated, when we parted ways each weekend. But yeah, the bus ride from Boston here to New York is absolutely torturous. But all right, memory had, memory experienced. Let's keep moving. There's a bit of a breeze, which is very welcome. I was so afraid of being chilly earlier today, and I'm actually sweaty because I'm walking like a New Yorker, you know, A to B. You're not like, oh, gee, where am I? Just go. Doesn't matter where you are. So I'm on 8th and 51st. I'm heading towards Central Park, which I think starts at 57th Street, like Columbus Circle kind of thing. And that's my goal. Just kind of wander in that direction. Maybe find a spot to sit down. Maybe get a falafel off a cart somewhere. I don't know. No real goal in mind today. Suddenly it's very loud. I've got 3 more layovers here in New York. So next time I can go to the Met or MoMA or something. But today I'm just going to walk around, enjoy the city, enjoy the pace, enjoy the people watching. Some extraordinary looking people. Great outfits and some really horrific ones at the same time. But yeah, it's been a really nice day just walking around. I wish there were more I could show you because honestly, seeing a lot of this isn't terribly entertaining, right? Let's keep walking. 2 things that made me happy. First, I avoided Times Square entirely, completely by accident. For some strange reason, I always end up in Times Square. Passing through, but I hate Times Square. Hate it. I accidentally avoided it this time, which is really exciting. And second, I just walked by and looked at this posted sign for, like, you know, a handyman. Very handsome. Handy homo. I think this is hysterical. If you're in New York, go find them. Check them out. Oh my goodness. Gotta love those handy homos. All right, coming up on Columbus Circle, right there. This is 58th Street. It's been quite a walk, but it's been surprisingly, well, it's fast-paced because you walk like a New Yorker, but it's taken less time than I thought it would. I'm happy to see so many of these sort of bicycles for hire, these little carts for hire. I don't see any of the horses because those make me very sad. So I don't see any of those, and that's very, very happy news. I guess you can rent a bike. So I'm just going to walk around Central Park for a while, eventually find some lunch on a cart, probably a falafel. It's got a fake Louis Vuitton canopy. That's hysterical. Beautiful day. It's so nice to see all this green in comparison to Vegas. Oh my goodness. Look at the top of that building. Isn't that interesting? Well, I found the horses. They make me very sad. Let's walk past them. We're not looking at the horses. Let's look at the joggers instead. Yes. Might recognize this spot as a destination for ice skating during cooler weather. But now it's a pickleball court. It's a giant pickleball court. You know, of course, I'm thinking of Mikey Bags of Money right now. He loves his pickleball. How much fun is that? How great is that? Here's the city. That building always freaks me out. It's so skinny. All right, let's keep walking. Oh, the breeze is glorious. So I'm walking along 5th Avenue and I'm just coming up to 72nd Street. The Metropolitan Museum of Art is up ahead. Unless there's a line, I'm probably going to go in. There's a line for the Frick. I don't know why there was a line for the Frick. I think they close at 5. The Frick is a museum. It's a really wonderful museum. Also sounds like a child swear word. But yeah, let's see if there's a line at the mat. If not, we'll go in. If there is, we'll just keep walking. Of course, on 5th Avenue, the birds are eating prosciutto. How pretty these birds are. Look how pretty these birds are. Especially the little white one. Oh, this lady, I love her. She's been kind of keeping pace with me during my walk along 5th Avenue here. She has a big shopping bag full of cooked rice. And she's just feeding the birds. I know you guys hate pigeons, but you know, pigeons are little birds. They're little animals. They have dreams and hopes and fears, I'm sure. And they're hungry. So if you were hungry, you would want someone to help you, right? Well, I digress. I wanted to tell you a story about how I almost moved to New York. This part of New York, the fancy part of New York. So, I dated a guy named Steven. Haha, I know, yes, like 2 Stevens, yes. Every 10 years I dated a Steven. 1992, 2002, and 2012. 2022, no boyfriends, just cats. But back in 2012, my boyfriend Steven, with a PH the wrong way, he had a lot of money. A lot of family money. His father died, leaving each of his many children lots and lots and lots of money. And eventually, he wanted to sell his condo in Boston and buy a place here in Manhattan. And so we came up to this part of town between 72nd and 110th. But 110th back then was not as aspirational as it is today. But we were looking at apartments or condos to buy here in New York. Yeah, so I almost moved up here to New York. I do kind of regret not doing that, but it was also a hideous, horrible relationship. So I would have been miserable in New York in a fancy apartment. Does that sound really that bad? I don't know. But I almost moved here. And then before I became a flight attendant, I was obsessed on watching YouTube videos on how to move to New York and live here with very little money. It's still possible, but you have to be able to sleep in an apartment that's like this big. Yeah, so there's a little short story that you didn't ask for. It's looking pretty busy over here. Well, I see more people leaving than I see people arriving, so there's hope. There won't be too much of a line inside. All right, I got tickets, guys. Beautiful. Let's start over here, where I usually begin my tour around. Now, when I have all day here, sometimes all I do is go to this board over here, and they'll have sort of a schedule of curated tours where a docent or someone will give you a tour around maybe 6 or 7, 8 or 9 pieces that they have like studied, and it's always a great idea, because in very little time I can walk around a museum like this and be like, oh my god, look at that, oh my god, look at that, and then pretty soon I'm numb to these amazing things because they're so overwhelming. There's so many pieces. So to have someone guide you through and just look at like 5 or 6 pieces, that's it, and really walk away knowing those pieces intimately, it's really satisfying. So when I have the whole day, that's what I do. But I don't have the whole day. I have 5 hours. So let's just look at a couple really fantastic things, shall we? My favorite medium of all is clay. I love clay. And look at this cup. Oh my god, there's another one right over here. Look at the handle on these cups. I am absolutely in love. If I ever get back to throwing pots, I want to remember these cups. Those are spectacular. Oh my god. You know, it's embarrassing to say this, but I was not even aware of even the most rudimentary history of pottery wheels. I was ignorant and just assumed that many of these pieces were just built by the coil technique, or that were like clay was rolled out as slabs and placed over a form to create some of these things. But no, the pottery wheel has been around for 3,000 or 4,000 years. Homer's Iliad actually referenced a pottery wheel. So it's insane that I was so ignorant of how long pottery wheels have been used to create artwork and functional pieces. But yeah, I just feel very ignorant that I didn't know that. What's this? Caspar David Friedrich. Oh, the Soul of Nature. This is an exhibit that's actually going away tomorrow. I think today or tomorrow is the last day this exhibit's even here. Oh my goodness. Wait, look at this. Look at this. Do you remember that painting I found at Goodwill with the pine trees and the mesas in the background? This totally makes me think of that painting. Alright. I don't want to be rude and film this as I walk around. Well, I do, but I won't. You know in the movies when the guy is walking through a bar or a restaurant and he looks up and he falls in love with this woman from across the room? He just looks up and there she is. Well, that just happened to me right now. Look at that. Look at the atmosphere here. Amazing. One lone figure. Amazing. Called Monk by the Sea. Let's see, for the Romantics, monks exemplified mystical insight. Friedrich wrote that his depiction of a monk contemplating a stormy sea represents the unknowable hereafter, the darkness of the future, which is only ever sacred intuition to be seen and recognized only in belief. Crazy. So under painting, they were able to see under the paint that there were actually ships painted into the background, and he took them away. And I'll tell you, I think it's a better composition for without the ships. But yeah, really, really, really interesting. Look at this. It's called The North Sea in Moonlight. Painted in 1823 and 24. Unbelievable. That a few smooshes of paint can create such luminous environments. It's just fascinating. Speaking of lighting, isn't this weird? Really fantastic. I'm completely ignorant of this artist. I'd never heard his name before. Look at this. Paint on a canvas can transport you to another world you've never been to. You've never seen. Look at this. Crazy. There's the artist's name. I definitely have to learn more about his work. Absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous. Amazing. This is called the Tomb of Permeb or something like that.
pyramids and stuff behind the chambers.
It's very, very confined in here. Excuse me. Oh, yeah, I guess Pernab, or however you pronounce that. Okay, I think I would like to get out of here. Feeling a little confined. Oh wait, oh look. These are translations. Take as I cut off. Take as I cut off. I will act to your satisfaction. Do you read that? Removing the forepart. Give the forepart. Sharpening the knife by the knife sharpener. Removing the forepart. So are they butchering an animal? Is that what they're describing here? Yeah, maybe they're butchering. Do you see the cow here? Maybe they're talking about butchering these animals. Inspector of servants. Reciting funeral spells by the lector priest. Libating water. Interesting translations here. Excuse me, ladies, I'm sorry. This is one of my favorite pieces in the entire museum. Before we look at it, we're gonna read about it right here. It's called The Angel of Death and the Sculptor from the Millmore Memorial. Say that 3 times fast. So this was actually a funerary commission from the family of a Boston sculptor, Martin Millmore, to honor his memory and that of his brother Joseph. The original bronze was erected in Forest Hills Cemetery in Jamaica Plain, that is in Boston. I used to live about a quarter mile, half a block from the cemetery where this was originally erected. This marble version was commissioned by the Metropolitan. The memorial represents the moment. This is I love the description almost as much as I love the sculpture. The memorial represents the moment when the angel of death interrupts the sculptor's work, staying the chisel in his left hand, stopping his work. She also holds a bunch of poppies, symbolizing eternal sleep. And you'll notice that death is a she in this image here. The poetic content of the sculpture, as well as French's successful integration of real and ideal elements, makes the memorial a profound statement on the creation of art and the cessation of life. I just think that is absolutely beautiful. And and the artist, Daniel Chester French. And this is the piece. Let me step back so you can get a better look at it. And I just think this is absolutely gorgeous. The artist, hard at work, doing his thing, working on a commission piece, I'm sure. And death coming over and saying, no, put down your work. It's time to go. It's time to leave. It's time to rest. Let it go. Just come with me. And she's got her bunch of poppies in her hand here. And I just am fascinated by the wings and the form of the wings. I just think this is absolutely one of my favorite pieces in the entire museum. It's time to go. It's time to let go of these earthly obligations and responsibilities and just let it go. Let's go. Let's head out. Let's check out of this party. I just love it. And even the look on his face here is like, are you sure? Can I stop working? Oh, thank you. You know what I mean? And the cowl over her face. I just love this piece. Love it. One of my favorite pieces in the entire museum. All right. Let's look at something prettier and happier, right? Look at this work. Look at those poppies. Knowing that poppies symbolize death, right? Interesting. Oh, those aren't all poppies, but those are. And these are beautiful. I have to assume it's Tiffany, right? A garden in glass. Yep. It's designed by Agnes Northrop, made by Tiffany Studios in 1902 to 1932. Beautiful. Beautiful. And part of the painterly quality of these pieces is not just their colored blocks of glass, but the glass itself has patterns within it, creating these sort of peonies. Those look like peonies to me, and foxglove. Those are all foxglove, also called digitalis. And look at are they cypress trees? They look like cypress to me. Really beautiful. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, look at over there. Look at over there. Look at that. Wait. Look at that. Doesn't the light from this piece remind you of some of the paintings we just looked at a few minutes ago? All in glass. Like that panel right there, that little square, that little rectangle. Like that they created the colors within that little segment of glass that looks like a sunset. And the leaves, the autumn leaves, look. Look at that. Unbelievable. And look how the light is captured in the clouds. Beautiful. Autumn landscape, that's what that's called. No shock there. Look at the water. Are there any fish in there? God, gorgeous. Look, they even have this birch texture here. Look at the pattern. It looks just like birch trees. God. It is impossible to get across the scale of this piece. It is monstrous. It is so huge. It's huge. It's huge. I could put both of my hands just inside that handle there. It's amazing. And it looks like it's built in a coil technique, certainly not in a wheel. But this piece was made by David Drake. This monumental storage jar by the enslaved African-American potter and poet. Dave reveals his unparalleled technical skills and poetic use of language. Written accounts by enslaved individuals are exceedingly rare, but this jar offers a window into Dave's life, not unlike a diary entry. Intended to hold meat, this vessel is transformed by Dave's poetry, which speaks to the trauma of slavery while signaling the agency and power of a gifted artisan in a plantation economy. Made in 1858. I find this piece really particularly moving, and I don't remember ever seeing it, but I know it's been here. But wow, what a fantastic piece. And I really don't know much about the history of this building, if it was taken apart and brought here and put back together again or what, but it's amazing. Is this your style? This is not mine. I don't find this particularly enthralling. But the wall color is beautiful. It's like a celery, celadon green. It's a beautiful color. Yeah, I could live here. Forget what I said. I think this is lovely. That lusterware is beautiful. Oh, beautiful. All right, there's an entire upstairs, but my feet are really starting to hurt, and I'm going to not climb stairs right now. Look at this. I'm in love with that chair. My mouth is watering. It's such a beautiful chair. All right, I guess I do like this stuff. I guess I do. Wow. That's lovely. Let's have some tea. Gorgeous. Right. Wait, what's that? I just saw something on Antiques Roadshow with samplers like this, and they were worth like $30,000, something crazy. Wow, okay. This might be my second favorite thing in the museum. It's a mirror, but engraved on the mirror, can you read that? It says, "Everything will be taken away." oh, okay. Everything will be taken away. So the artist is Adrian Piper, born 1948. Mirror with gold-leafed engraved text in mahogany frame. Everything, number 4, invites you to contemplate its otherworldly proclamation and your reflection in a variety of contexts. Here, juxtaposed with federal period furniture and portraits of iconic politicians, Piper's mirror generates an alternative portal into American history with your aspirations and legacies taken into account. Oh gosh, that's pretty heavy. While I read that, first I was like, oh, everything will be taken away. This other couple was standing next to me, and they're a little bit younger than I am, but not by much. And we all laughed with a lot of mirth coloring that laughter, because yeah, everything will be taken away. And I am officially getting old enough where I have to take these stairs sideways, because my bunion is killing me after walking around as much as I have today. Where else do we want to go? Well, there's all that pottery upstairs. Let's go upstairs. I'm trying to get upstairs, but I'm walking apparently towards a decorative art. It's 1875 to 1915. Have you seen these windows? Have you noticed the windows as I'm passing by them? Aren't they beautiful? I'm just walking by. Oh, they're windows. No, each of them is a piece of artwork. I think that's amazing. All right. Oh, there's stairs. I can't go upstairs there. Let's look at the decorative arts. I love this stuff. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, my mouth just dried up. I'm so happy right now. Look at these pieces. Look at these pieces. Look at that. Look at that. I love that. It's a little jar with scarabs on it. I love that. Look at these glass pieces. Tiffany lamps. Look at these vases. They look like some sort of flower. God, look at those. Oh my gosh, look at this. Tiffany furnaces, 1902 to 1932. House of Carl Fabergé. It's a vase of peacock glass, but look at the little snakes. Look at the little snakes. Oh my God, I love it. That little snake on the right-hand side is like creeping into the top of the vase. Like, what's inside there? Don't go in there. You won't get out. Look at the base. Oh, I love that. I hate creaky floors. Oh, look at that lamp. Look at that lamp. It is beautiful. On camera, that hot spot where the light is much more intense. In person, it's like a very warm, ambery gold kind of color. In person, it's much more beautiful. God, that's amazing. The lamp is by Dirk van Erp. That's an unfortunate name. Look at this Tiffany necklace. Look at this necklace. Those are black opals. Look at, oh my God. Oh, my mouth is watering. That's gorgeous. And look at this. How beautiful is this glass? And look at this. I'm sorry, you're probably bored. Isn't that absolutely stunning? I didn't even notice the wallpaper. Look at the wallpaper. Wow. And this table. Look at the stars. It's mother of pearl stars inlaid into the top of the wood. Oh, beautiful. And on the other side of this, I guess it's a building that they brought in. Even, I'm going to reach up. Even the windows at the second level here are beautiful. And apparently you can't go in to the space here, but this looks like some sort of living space. It's giving me Frank Lloyd Wright vibes, but then it's not at the same time, because something about these windows doesn't say Frank Lloyd Wright. And over here behind this desk, you can't quite see it, there's a painting or an image hung on the wall there, and that's very much not in the style of Frank Lloyd Wright. Wait, there's people inside there. Wait, I didn't know you could go in there. Oh, I'm gonna start to squeal. How do I get in there? Here. It is a Frank Lloyd Wright. This installation of the Frank Lloyd Wright room is made possible through the generosity of Saul P. Steinberg. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I see it. I've only been in 2 of his houses, but it's very unusual to see something hung on the wall. Oh my God, I'm gonna squeal. Look at this sofa. It's like a little settee with these wide ledges where you can put your books. And the chair, oh my God, look at that chair. I want to sit there and read and have Buddy and Eleanor sitting on both arms of the chair. My cats would love this place. Oh, isn't this beautiful? Who knew Frank Lloyd Wright? I didn't think it was his style. Look at the ceilings. Well, from Wayzata, Minnesota. Gosh, amazing. An Afrofuturist period room. Now, I have never seen this, but I do see dust on the top of that. So this has been there for quite a while. What does this say? Before yesterday, we could fly. Interesting. Let's zoom out so you can see this a little better. Sorry. Oh, that's an interesting sculpture. Wow. Sorry. Wow. That is breathtaking. That is breathtaking. Sorry, this is more of Stephen reading to you, sorry. But this piece behind me that we just took a look at, right? Seneca Village, a vibrant 19th century community of predominantly black landowners and tenants, flourished in an area just west of the Met in what is now Central Park. By the 1850s, the village comprised some 50 homes, 3 churches, multiple cemeteries, a school, and many gardens. It represented both an escape from the crowded and dangerous confines of Lower Manhattan and a site of opportunity, ownership, freedom, and prosperity. In 1857, to make way for the park, the city used eminent domain to seize Seneca Village land, displacing its residents and leaving only the barest traces of community behind. This house has roots in the homes of Seneca Village, of which only a fragmented history remains. Like other period rooms throughout the museum, this installation is a fabrication of domestic space that assembles furnishings to create an illusion of authenticity. Unlike these other spaces, this room rejects the notion of one historical period and embraces the African and African diasporic belief that the past, present, and future are interconnected and that informed speculation may uncover many possibilities. Wow. Right? Right? Oh my gosh. What? My big face. I meant to show you more of this. After reading that, how can you not see this differently than you did before you read that? Unbelievable. Fantastic. And sad. So much of the origin of great art is born from tragedy and just abuse of peoples, and pain. Oh my God. Crazy. All right. And then we walk into this. Look at this. This is called lamp work when this glassware is all blown that way. How beautiful. We'll go from there to here. Just resting, sleeping, and your dog curled up under the blankets with you. How sweet. Oh my God. I'm going to stop talking for a minute. You have to see this. It's very low. It's very dimly lit in here. The camera is showing it is being brighter than it is. But this is, look, they're like crawling around on the ceiling. Look. Oh my God. I mean, I can't even. And all this is lit really by these two windows. Wow, God. And that was a bedroom from the Piazza Sagredo, I don't know, in Venice, about 1718. Wow. I'm up in a more traditional part of the museum. We're going to visit that guy in a moment, but I want to look at this guy for a second. Look at him. Doesn't it look like he's going to start talking to you right now? Look at his, like the wrinkles in his forehead and his bushy eyebrows. His beard is amazing. He just looks like he's going to start talking to you. And this little bag under his eye, like that happens to me if I don't sleep. But this is done in 1768. Head of a Bearded Elder by Pajou. The wizened bearded man stares askance with a troubled, almost combative expression. It's a character study of human passion, but it's unclear which emotion this bristly elder personifies. Barely controlled anger, perhaps. The mantle, though not sufficient costume to identify the man, tightly frames his turned head and provides a matte contrast to his curling locks. Even his ears are interesting. And then look at this guy. Just look at the posture. Isn't that unusual? Number 39 is impressed there. I wonder if that's 39 of a series. You can even see his hair follicles where his head was shaved. Franz Xavier Messerschmidt. Franz, a hypocrite and slanderer. Wow. With powerful simplicity, Messerschmidt has portrayed a balding, heavyset man pressing his chin to his chest. His angled expression is framed by his symmetrical jowls, concentrically wrinkled neck, and rhythmically patterned hair. The sculpture belongs to a series of busts that the artist referred to as Kopfstücke. That word right there. Or headpieces. Some are straightforward self-portraits of the artist, grimacing or smiling. Interesting. I think that's amazing. Just a hypocrite and slanderer. This was done in 1770 through 83. Really interesting. Really interesting. What's this? I just love the color of these walls. Is it me or does that look like Drew Barrymore? We're gonna keep walking. A lot of Jesus. Okay. Pablo Picasso. This is The Blind Man's Meal in 1903. In this depiction of a blind man holding bread and lightly touching a jug of wine, Picasso underscored a feeling of lonely despair through dramatic formal decisions. Thin, elongated anatomy, I was going to say anonymity, and a somber, unearthly palette, as is many canvases from his so-called blue period, roughly 1901 through 1904. Picasso partially took inspiration from El Greco, the Greek artist's expressively contorted figures and colors, suggestive of religious visions, anticipated aspects of late 19th century symbolist movements with their religious undertones. A lot of reading, but interesting. This is one of the earliest uses of green screen. I'm kidding. Sorry. This is a piece by Botticelli, and apparently it's Saint Zenobius, I'm not quite sure which one he is rushing around town resurrecting dead people, and he's giving salt to someone over here. Oh, so that must be them right there. That must be him in the white with the blue bottom. Yeah, just rushing around resurrecting dead people. Okay. This piece is by Monet. A little different than the water lilies, right? Interesting. And, you look at it thinking it's Christ because of the wound on his chest with that spear, and you can see where his hands and his feet have been pierced here. But apparently, it is called the funeral. It's thought to depict the funeral of Charles Baudelaire, who is a writer. The funeral took place on September 2nd, 1867. Manet kept the picture until his death in 1894. Camille Pissarro acquired it in exchange for one of his own landscapes. That's interesting. Makes me think of one of the first photographs that were shared in like Time magazine or something of a young man who was dying of AIDS, and he was lying in his bed withered to like literally a skeleton, totally not everything taken from him. The disease took everything from him, and his parents are sitting by his side. I think it's a really sad picture. It's a sad portrait, but it almost reminded me of that picture right there. More Picasso in his blue period, I would assume. Very blue. This is an exhibit of fashion called Superfine. There's collections of different outfits and designs and clothing by designers and fashion houses, and really extraordinary fashion. I'm in particular love with this piece up here with this leather harlequin suit with a zebra top underneath. Absolutely amazing. This is my favorite outfit right here. It's a cardigan with this matching shirt and tie combo. It's all Louis Vuitton. And funny, as I see this portrait here, I just saw this at the Chrysler Museum in Norfolk not long ago. And then I'm reading, it's on loan from the same museum. I literally just saw this in Norfolk. Amazing. And I hate to say I had that exact hat. I'm just afraid to wear it because I don't want to look like I'm trying to appropriate anything, of course. But how neat to see that same piece in two very different museums. Really exciting. I go to enough museums that I get to see similar pieces that are from a series by a particular artist In particular, I'm thinking of sculptures of Othello, seeing him, his sculpture at what museum in Baltimore, and then also I think in Norfolk, I think. But it's so weird to see pieces by the same artist that are in a series in different museums across the country, and then to recognize a piece that I've seen in a museum in Virginia that I also see maybe, a few months later in New York City. It's weird. You go to enough museums, you see this, like, the movement of pieces around the country and through different collections. It's neat. It's an exhibit, Sargent in Paris. It's John Singer Sargent, an exhibit of his work. And I zoom right in on this image. Wow. Amazing. Head of a male model. Okay. That's fantastic. I would suspect that's the same model right there. Just can't get it. I don't know, just drawn. Wow. This looks like the opening scene of a horror movie. This looks like a very sad story right here. Quite a few pieces in that exhibit of John Singer Sargent that I recognize that are on loan from the MFA in Boston. I only recognize them very quickly because I'm so familiar with that museum. But really amazing exhibit. I would have filmed more, but it felt uncomfortable actually to film anything and start talking because it was such an important exhibit, I think. There's Jackson Pollock, no surprise. This is an Andy Warhol piece, of course, of Jackie. And, again, it's weird. I go to so many museums that to recognize this moment in history when Jackie's in the car with her husband. And I think this is when he gets assassinated. And I was just at the 6th floor museum in Dallas a few weeks ago. Strange, you go to enough museums, you see bits of history all over the place. It all ties together. It's a very small world. All right, what do you see? Real quick, what do you see? What's this painting of? Do you see an ear? Yes. Do you see lips? Yes. Do you see a person? Do you see a portrait inside? Yes. It's Salvador Dali. Who knew? Dali's penchant for optical illusion and veiled iconography are evident in this painting. When seen from a distance, a rendition of Raphael's Sistine Madonna after 1513, Dresden, is situated within a gargantuan ear, a reference to Christ healing the ear of a Roman servant before the crucifixion. From close range, it is an abstract work composed of countless particle-like gray and pink dots, reflecting the artist's interests in nuclear physics. Come on. I love what art makes my brain do. Isn't that amazing? Craziness. I think there's a hair on my cheese. I don't even know what to say. Do you remember this piece from earlier in the video, the mirror that says everything will be taken away? Yeah. It's happening slowly but surely. But I was just here. There's another example of that same piece in this sort of deserted stairway kind of area. And there's this older couple who are probably maybe 5 or 10 years older than me, maybe that. And they're both trying to capture their reflection in the mirror with those words, because it's It's true. The older you get, the more you know about that. And I said, they're trying to take a picture without the camera in the, whatever. And I said, hey, could a third pair of hands help here? Can I get you at an angle? So I offered you to take a picture of them so that, I don't know. It was just really a great little composition. And we just had a little bonding moment. The husband just patted me on the shoulder with this very warm smile, and because we understood each other. It was like I recognized what they wanted, but they couldn't give it to themselves, so I helped out. Not that I'm a superhero for taking a picture for somebody, but it was really nice to have that little human connection. It's kind of like making friends on a cruise ship by offering to take pictures of each other. But that was a very nice moment at the museum. My feet are killing me. And it looks like the light is becoming golden outside. Looks like a nice time to be outside, and my feet are hurting, and I'm getting hungry. So I think I might leave the museum. Oh, but then I see something like this. Oh God, hold on. My feet. Oh, I'm regretting not buying this. This is a Russell Wright picture, and I saw one of these at a Goodwill, and it was like $7.99, and I didn't buy it. I don't know why. I really should have. But really, really interesting pieces. Look at this picture in glasses. That's gorgeous. All right, I'm going to walk around for a few more minutes, and then I've got to go. My feet are killing me. I'm contemplating taking a lift or something back to the train station. Oh, wait, what's this? Is my favorite piece down here? Am I going to see my favorite sculpture in the world? Is it down here? It might be. My favorite sculpture in the world, my favorite piece of artwork in the world is called Bird in Space. It might be down here. If you don't know it, do a quick Google search after you watch this video. Bird in Space. Guys, if you've watched my channel before, you might recognize this lady. Does this look familiar to you? She sits behind me when I sit in my chair at home. Mine is not a true Picasso, but this is the original Head of a Woman, Fernande. My piece is a cast bronze study of this work. I got it for $10 at Goodwill. It weighs a ton, and I love it. And this is the original. Here, it's so crazy that I'm looking at this piece right now. It's insane. And there's another piece over here. I don't know what is this the original? Oh, plaster. Okay, this is the Picasso originally made this work in clay, leaving finger marks and bits of material unsmoothed. And then so he made a mold of it, I guess, in plaster before casting it in bronze. I'm literally dancing inside my body, finding this piece in real life. I love it. I actually love my piece. I have to tell you, I like my piece better than the original. I am so excited. Oh my goodness, it's so wild. Back up these stairs. Oh my goodness. And look how pretty that light is. So nice. It is 7:05. Guess what I have not done today? I have not eaten all day. I was going to get a snack when I got off the train, and then I just started walking. And I've been walking in this museum for a few hours now. I haven't eaten anything yet. It's 7 o'clock in the afternoon. Why aren't I raging like a lunatic? I have to get back. This piece is so huge. This is called, what's this called? The Guiding Light, 1921, Harold Ankart from Belgium. This piece just brings me right back to my first time on a cruise ship, looking out over the railing. It's pitch black except for the moon, and way off in the distance you could see a little light of another cruise ship following behind you. So neat. Oh look, there's a second. I wonder if that second dot there is a star or something. That's beautiful. I love that. And just when I thought I couldn't walk any further, I see this space, and it's absolutely gorgeous. This piece, I stop by this almost every time I'm here, and I just love it. No arms, it's missing a foot. It's got a little wee-wee right there. And I suspect there were wings at some point, but there's still joy. Look at the joy in that little face. I just think this is wonderful. This guy always gets my attention when I'm here. It's just titled Marble Head of a Man, Roman period, 1st century BC. But I am always struck by the detail of this guy's portrait. The crow's feet, there's a couple laugh lines. The fact that his marionette lines, the 2 lines on the side of his mouth, aren't identical, because in real life they're rarely identical. If you sleep on your side, or if you smile in a sort of a lopsided way, those smile lines are always very different. His mouth looks like it's about to open. His eyes are, even though there's no pupil or anything, they're just so direct. His gaze is so direct. And I wonder, was the piece buried on its side? Because that, this half has a very different surface texture than the other. Really, this is also one of my favorite pieces in the museum. Even the back of his head. Look at his head. It always captures my attention. It has been a beautiful afternoon at the Met. It is 7:25. I've been here for a few hours now. I've gotten my steps in addition to the walk here from Penn Station. Really, really beautiful afternoon. But I am desperately hungry. Have I told you that 15 times already? Oh, what's in here? Big cat, or it's a big lion. All right. Let's head out of here. Well, that was a lot of fun. Oh, do you taste a kebab, or do you taste a falafel from one of these places? I do. I love New York. Well, it's not quite the dancing fountains at the Bellagio in New York, but it's something. Very pretty. Almost distracts me from this magicness. Fresh, hot falafel. Yay! This is the best falafel I've ever had. The fountain in the background. Someone's playing the saxophone over there. It's a beautiful evening. I'm so glad I left my hotel room. Do you imagine what a crime it would have been to start playing video games on my laptop when I could have had this kind of day? Yeah. Thanks for joining me on this. It's been nice to have you along with me. Oh, I am so happy. My belly is full. My lips are tingling from the hot sauce on the falafel. A little bit of Diet Coke. The birds are singing. The trees are leafed out in brilliant green. Life is good. Life is good. Life is good. I am once again walking through Central Park. Somehow I found the energy to after eating that falafel. I'm walking down by, I don't know what they call this, the boat pond or something. Frequently you'll see people sailing model ships around this little pond. But right now we got some ducks. There's a guy over there playing an accordion. The street lights are on now. What a fantastic day. Really a fantastic day. You can't see it on camera, but I'm not sure if you can see the 2 little birds. There is like a hawk or some kind of raptor style bird flying that way. And a couple little tiny little teeny birds were just chasing it away from, I'm assuming, their nests or their babies or something. It was amusing to see. You couldn't see it on camera. You'll have to trust me there. All right, let's limp home back to Penn Station. It has been a number of years since I've done this, but this is one of my favorite things in the world to do in Central Park, is to rent one of these little rowboats. You can rent one. It used to be $20 an hour. I'm sure it's more expensive now, but I would go over to La Chateau du Chocolat, the chocolate store that I really like a lot. Buy a little bag full of like little, their macaron are just unbelievable. They have little baby eclairs like this big, little caramel on top, just fantastic. Buy a little bag full of goodies, come down here, rent a little rowboat, and just paddle around Central Park Lake until I find a spot I like a lot. And I'll just kind of stop, drift a bit, nibble on some macaroons while I look at the skyline of the city and the trees and the people paddling around me and hearing little bits of conversation across the water, because sound does travel over water. Just a really nice experience. And it was pretty affordable back then. I wonder what it costs now. Maybe next time. It's just a gorgeous night. Look at this light. Even I look good in this light. It's a beautiful time. Right, I'm at the Bethesda Terrace. There's the Bethesda Fountain, just beautiful. There's a guy in the fountain over here taking money out of the water, which is really kind of disconcerting, but you know, whatever he has to do to survive. Love those skinny skyscrapers up there, kind of wild. This is part of the place where you can rent your rowboat right over here and kind of paddle around. I'll pop over here, have my little snacks. I have to do that again sometime soon. But this water is really pretty right now. If you look closely, you'll see this kind of almost aurora borealis pattern of pale green. That's eventually going to become the complete pond. Everything turns like acid yellow chartreuse in like July, August, that kind of thing. So this is it before it turns acid green. But oh, it's so pretty. So pretty. God, look at that. I'm so lucky. Young ladies are filming a music video. I don't want to interrupt them. All right, I'm heading back towards Penn Station, but look what I came upon. This, it's like a drum circle. A little bit of everybody over there with a drum or whatever they have, making some joyful noise. Isn't that cool? When I lived in Tampa, I was dating this guy, Mark. We used to go down to Sunset Beach, and every night at sunset, the moment the sun dropped below the horizon, the moment the sun disappeared, everyone would break out their drum and drum. There must have been 100 people in a circle. Everyone's got like a little tom-tom drum or a full bass drum, or anybody who had any kind of musical instrument would just hit and bang it, and it was just, at first, a little weird, a little uncomfortable, especially if you didn't have a drum. But then after a few minutes, it almost became sort of this like experience, you know? It was fantastic. Yeah, so that just reminded me of that. And it looks like there might be another one going on, or a little mini dance, or I don't know, rave going on over there. What's going on over there? I don't know. It's New York. A little impromptu dance party. Got some people playing volleyball over here. Makes me think of high school. Now, in North Providence, where I went to high school, during gym class, the guys played football and the girls played volleyball. I was not about to play football, and I certainly wasn't going to take my shirt off because I was fat. And but so they made me play one of the two, so I went to play volleyball. And everyone at first thought I'd be great because I'm tall. And in high school, by this time I had grown quite a bit, but I suck at volleyball. I would, try to hit the ball and to aim that way, and it would go that way, and everyone just groaned when I walked into the little volleyball area. High school was a joy. The crowds are gone. Boy, it almost looks like daylight on my phone, and in person, like the sun has clearly set. It is nighttime, but you can see the crowds are gone for the most part. There's little whispers of music coming from different directions all around me. The evening birds are just letting themselves be known, and you can hear Stephen's feet crying in the background, can't you? Let me rest. Please let me rest. Can't you hear my feet cry? Oh my God, my feet are killing me. I still have another 1.5 miles to walk. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make it. I'm not gonna grab a lift or anything. I'm gonna get through this. It looks like I still ended up in Times Square. Every single time I'm here, I end up in Times Square. No, you know what, guys? No, I can't do it. I can't even do it another 2 minutes. I'm gonna go down here, take a left, and then go that way. I can't handle that crowd anymore. I am almost at Penn Station, right over there. I look up and see the Empire State Building. I haven't seen it all day. All right, it is 9:51. This train leaves at 10:02 to get back to Newark. I am very much looking forward to getting back to my hotel room, but I still have like a 10 or 15 minute walk from at my pace tonight. It's gonna be 20 minutes back to the hotel from Penn Station, New Jersey. So I will see you back at the hotel, and I'll give you a little summary of my step count. Anyone want to guess what my step count's gonna be like today? It's a lot. For me, it's a lot. Yeah. Drop a guess before I tell you. Hey guys, how are you? Good evening. Oh, technically, good morning. It's about 12:30 a.m., which makes it Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day. If you're a mother, want to be a mother, used to be a mother, whatever kind of mother you are, happy Mother's Day. So I have been back in my room for a little while now. I watched a couple YouTube videos, as I usually do. I bid for next month's schedule. I'm trying to go big with credit hours next month because I'm going to take some time off for vacation. I've got a conference to go to in Vancouver, so I'm trying to maximize my money next month and the month after, which is when I'll get paid for next month's hours that I work. So I'm going big for that. And one thing I forgot to tell you was my step count. I wanted to let you know how many steps I took on my excursion into the city. Now, because it's past midnight, my step count went right back to 0. So the last number I remember seeing was 28,600. I forget, like 32 at the end, but 28,600 and something like 32 steps, which is quite a lot for me. I love to walk, and I'm used to walking, especially back when I didn't have a car in Vegas, but that's a lot of steps. That's a lot of steps. So how close were you in your guess? I am going to finish packing up. I know my shuttle isn't until 11:43 or something in the morning, but I want to have all my stuff ready, all packed up, so all I have to do is wake up, go downstairs for breakfast, and then get ready to go to work. Tomorrow we are flying back home, and then we're going to do a Burbank turn, I think, so it's kind of a long day, but I'm flying position C. It's not a hard job. So I will see you guys later. Thank you for joining me on my trip around the city in Central Park and the Met. And I will see you later. All right, fly safe. Bye.